Audio Jungle.
Greetings, citizens of the world. We are anonymous. We are reaching out to you in such a direct manner because we have exhausted every other avenue. We would like to take a few minutes of your time to inform you about the United States government's plan to murder over 120 million citizens. We do not have enough time to reveal all of the evidence or history on this plot. You must find the truth out for yourself. Open your eyes. People are already disappearing in the USA. The homeless are being rounded up in the night by military persons and disposed of. Mass graves are already in place, as well as millions of coffins that President Obama has bought himself for the citizens of the US. Each crematorium-ready coffin can fit 5 bodies easily. The citizens of America have already been divided into groups based on data gathered on them by census records, NSA spying, and labeled by markers on their mailboxes. There are 3 groups: the dead group, the re-education group, and the compliance group. The citizens labeled for the dead group are going to be rounded up beginning in mid-July and taken to one of over 800 FEMA camps in the US, each prepared to exterminate and dispose of over 220,000 people at one time. These camps have been built over many years and are equipped, guarded, and functioning as we speak. The citizens labeled to be re-educated will be sent to the camps to be brainwashed, re-educated, until the government deems them fit for circulation back into society. Lastly, the compliance group are those who the government does not see as a threat, but as those able to be bribed or simply weak enough to comply with anything the government demands. Already, in the US, soldiers from all branches of military are set up and actively running night raids in civilian homes, and more are coming daily. Law enforcement is set up to work with them. New military vehicles and equipment are being injected into the society every day. Obama states the purpose of this is for a drill that will help train military for combat situations and to get the public used to interacting with them. The United States of secrecy has kept you all blind, just like the US citizens are kept blind. Bills have been passed secretly, without going through Congress, without being seen or approved by anyone but the president alone. Bills that make martial law easily available, indefinite detention and torture of any citizen without hearing or trial legal, as well as the assassination of any US citizen without need for explanation, unrestricted by dictator Obama. The United States has been a police state for many years now, but it is coming to a head. Obama is planning on implementing martial law so he can further control the population, murder citizens, stay in power, and eventually bring about a new world order. Already Russia, China, and countries in Europe are in alliance with the US on this and plan to aid in creating one world government. We are not here today to discuss this, but to help save the people. If you think the American Holocaust will not affect you, you are sadly mistaken. This is going to spread. This is already taking place. People are already being murdered. The United States citizens need your help to save the country and their lives. It is time to wake up. It is time to stand and unite. As citizens of the world, if millions of us fall, we all fall. If millions of us are murdered, we can all be murdered. If you turn a blind eye now, the same will be done to you. This message may seem desperate and unbelievable to you. It is. The people of the US are desperate. The corruption in the government of the United States of America is unbelievable. Now that you know people will die, what will you do about it? We are anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Citizens of the world, we must unite, before it is too late.
Greetings, humanity from all around our world. We are anonymous.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a rare look inside Anonymous.
They're this shadowy and motley group of hackers and activists who answer to no one, drawn together by love of internet mischief.
Well, now they're evolving into this movement of social change, a real driving force behind the Wall Street occupiers. No surprise, they're hated by corporate security, but also hunted by the FBI.
And one of the questions we're asking is, who are these people and why are they taking to the streets?
A lot of folks say that if someone came in and they needed your help, they wanted to die, that Jack Kevorkian would help them. Would you?
I would help them if they deserve it.
Dear Fox News, it has come to our unfortunate attention that both the name and nature of Anonymous has been ravaged, as if it were a whore in a back alley, and then placed on display for the public eye to behold. Allow me to say quite simply, you completely missed the point of who and what we are.
Hello, Westboro Baptist Church. Allow us to introduce ourselves. We are Anonymous.
According to the heads of the Baptists, they received an open letter threat from Anonymous saying that the Baptists will be their next target when it comes to the latest string of hacktivists working towards taking down the bad guys. Now, in response to this threat by Anonymous, the Westboro Baptist Church created their own press release. And in big, bold letters, they welcomed the threat and said, "Bring it." Now, we've spoken at length about the group of hackers named Anonymous, the ones who have used their hacking talents in ways that have impacted the world politically as of late. They've protested U.S. companies' silencing of WikiLeaks by attacking PayPal and MasterCard's websites. They've hacked the company HB Gary when word got out that this company was trying to track down members of Anonymous. And they also responded to the crazies of the Westboro Baptist Church by taking down their website while being interviewed on the David Pakman Show.
Oh, do you think that if you try to do something to us because we tell
something's already been done, check it.
So hold on, I am getting a thumbs up from my producer that there has been a message posted that appears to be from Anonymous on downloads.westborobaptistchurch.com. Anonymous, are you taking responsibility for this?
Yep, we just did it right now, this very second.
That's pretty good, you got to admit. And those were just a few examples.
And this is big. It started when the feds today shut down Mega Upload, the file sharing service that apparently has more than 150 million registered users and 50 million daily visitors. Now, in response, the largest attack ever by the hacktivist group Anonymous. They attacked and successfully shut down the sites for the U.S. Department of Justice, the U.S. Copyright Office, Universal Music Group, the Recording Industry Association of America, and the Motion Picture Association of America. Now, you may have heard of some of these Anonymous-related hacks in the past to take down other government websites, but never have they gone after so many at once.
And while they're raking in the profits, they're also battling off hackers. Paranoia, a group tied to the hacktivist group Anonymous, claims it has released 14 gigabytes of data that shows Bank of America was investing and spying on hackers. They claim the bank employed security firms to monitor hackers and activists. Well, Paranoia says the documents show a company called Tech Systems kept a close eye on hacker forums and social media sites. So how revealing is the data, and has Bank of America taken their spying too far?
Someone has broken into the National Bank, the Federal Reserve, a 21st century thief breaking into files, not into metal safes. The mysterious group Anonymous has struck again with a warning. This is just the beginning.
The online activist group Anonymous is targeting the Cheltenham spy base GCHQ to highlight concerns over privacy.
The agency was named by former US intelligence officer Edward Snowden, who claimed GCHQ routinely taps into everyone's internet data.
The online activist group Anonymous have long voiced their concerns about Snowden's revelations, and in a video posted on the internet, they addressed GCHQ directly.
We are left with no option than to come to you to show our outrage and disgust. In August 2014.
Well, in the latest chapter of Hacktivists versus the World, Anonymous and AnonSec have unleashed fury on a new entity. Think of it as an organization that supposedly represents the height of military power and global politics. I'm talking about NATO. Now, just a short while later, they decided to be very nice about their cyber attack and said, we're sitting on about 1 gigabyte of data from NATO now, most of which we cannot publish as it would be irresponsible, but oh, NATO! So perhaps a blessing in disguise? Yes, Anonymous did get highly sought after information from one of the most well-known organizations in the world, but they decided to play the nice card and opted not to release that classified information for now.
There are some new faces in the standoff in the troubled American town of Ferguson, or rather some new masks. The Ku Klux Klan has now hit out at Anonymous.
Hundreds of cities across the world are expected to stand together as one today in major rallies planned by the global protest movement Anonymous. The Million Mask March aims to unite those protecting online privacy as well as standing up to corporate greed, GM foods and other causes.
Right, joining me now to discuss the Million Mask March is Ray McGovern, former CIA analyst. Thank you very much for being with us, Mr. McGovern. Maybe it's not quite a million mask march, but it certainly is massive. Does the turnout surprise you?
Well, it did surprise me because I had great difficulty getting here. I have never seen so many policemen and so many police cars in Washington since I don't know when. So I'm lucky to be here on time. It's very interesting, the widespread coordination of this, not only Washington, not only London, but Manila, Brussels, Rome, San Francisco. One of the signs in San Francisco, I think, speaks volumes. It said, we are the 99%. Until you wake up, that is, until the 1% wake up and the others of our populace here in the United States that are still sort of asleep, until you wake up, we will fight for you. And so there's a kind of awakening here, and I was thinking of the Tahrir Square, and thinking about the Arab Spring and Asma Mahfouz, the young lady who led that protest, and I was thinking maybe this group, maybe Anonymous, maybe the people who are associated here will turn out to be our Asma Mahfouz.
I was just about to ask you this, do you think that a group like this can go to the streets a few times a year and be able to bring down governments and corporations and really change the world?
Well, as Margaret Mead said, the only thing that ever has changed anything is a small group of very dedicated people. Now, the world needs to be changed. And how it happens is something beyond our ken. But when I see young people who are clearly dissatisfied with mass surveillance, with austerity, with the fact that rich people are getting still richer and that elections are being bought, that's a good sign. And whether it takes just a small group or a larger group, it's a hopeful sign that people are dissatisfied enough to wake up their relatives, their friends, their neighbors, and saying, look, until you wake up, we're going to fight for you.
Let's talk about the group Anonymous. They are leaderless, as they say. But where do you see that movement going from here?
Well, I think the important part of Anonymous is that they're mostly young and they're highly technically skilled. Now, governments in this world cannot function without highly technically skilled people. Witness Edward Snowden. Now, that being the case, each government is going to have people who not only have highly technical skills, but also have a conscience. Care about the other 99%, as we say in this country. Care about people who are being deprived of their rights, in Palestine, of their very existence. And so Palestine too was voiced in some of these demonstrations. There is a worldwide way to connect people now, and these young people, bless them, are doing that connection.